Hey everybody, it's Psychic Hunter David. Well, it is Friday. I can't believe life just goes shoo, and it's go 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 go, and then people wake up and they're 85 and 90. Um, One of the things that's really quite interesting about this energy that we're dealing with right now is the fact that we are in the dark of the eclipses. This coming Friday, we have a whopper. It is in the constellation of Taurus. In the Hebrew faith, the Yod, the hand of God, pointing, is there. And quite interesting, the events that will concur. Quite fascinating as well. 10 hours later, we have our King Charles III, like it or lump it, is going through his coronation, and he is a Scorpio with Moon in Taurus. Quite fascinating. So we're in the constellation of Taurus, and the full moon eclipse is in Scorp, last one in the series. Then as we move into the summertime, those eclipses, have already started to migrate south. They always go counterclockwise, and they are now moving and have started the Aries Libra scenario. So that'll go on now for the next almost year and a half, as well as the fact that the nodes leave and move in July. They move to Aries Libra, respectively. Quite fascinating. Anyway, so the weather's getting there slowly. Toronto, like boom, drips back, have a snowstorm, and then it goes up to 80. We're in the middle of that. I hear people wallowing. Oh well, get your rubber boots on, enjoy the weather, do what you need to do, get a dog. So there's a lot going on that's really quite interesting. And I'll tell you something really interesting. I was joking around here in this building that I live in about the gardening club. And listen, I think it's great. Listen, I've had houses. I mean, my dad had tomatoes, and he never goddamn will grow pumpkins for me, which used to infuriate me because I was such a holiday kid. But they always say it's really interesting. I read a psychological thing about that. They said children that are overtly involved with holiday are lacking creative expression, creative involvement, etc. Well, my mother was always ill. So, you go through things that you understand as you get older. Still, I like holidays, but I'm not as fanatical as I was when I was young. So anyway, I'm talking about the gardening thing, and I said, the seniors group, and a few of them were like, yeah. And I just thought to myself, oh, come on. If I said that to Jane Fonda, she'd laugh her guts out. I mean, these people in question are over 75. I mean, come on, just have fun with it. It was a joke. People are just unbelievable. People today, I mean, listen, the world's in turmoil. The sky is falling. America's falling apart from within. It's like rotting from within. The Chinese are just, clapping their hands, creating their own little goddamn war and defense. Because we're in a war right now, a silent war. And I mean, people are worrying about nonsensical. I understand that. But the bottom line is that there's so many other things. I'm not one of these people that is easily impressed by Augustus Caesar saying, let the peasants be entertained in the amphitheater while we, the elite, shall do as we wish. I don't like things like this. I'm far more steadfast, and I guess that's the Leo in me, where it's, wait a minute here, let's get this resolved, and this resolved. We don't need to renovate something that's been on ice and in mothballs that's sitting there that's not even utilized. Let's get it utilized. Let people use it instead of disturbing other tenants. Let me tell you, it's the way I've been raised, it's the way that I am, and that's just the way the ball bounces. This whole thing about, well, you've got to handle people a certain way. Well, I don't know about that. Because those in power with millions of dollars at their disposal that keep saying, no, well, we can't afford that, it's a bunch of garbage. So I think in all honesty, we're in a very weird energy at the moment. And I'm not one of these people that is appeasing and ingratiating. When I was younger, I was, and it was all fake because it wasn't real. Because underneath it all, I didn't really believe I was doing what I was doing because I wanted to. So I see this in individuals and I say, please stop the ingratiating. Sense understanding. Don't become angry after the fact. Do something organically because you therefore choose to do it. Don't do it because you feel obliged. It's like wearing a ton of labels, hoping that somebody thinks you are somebody. Sophistication isn't necessarily a live on Glen Road in Rosedale. Sophistication is that you keep yourself learned, you keep yourself involved, you don't behave entitled, and you actually work with people en masse. I don't judge. I meet somebody and they're this, that, or the other in regards to philosophical, religious background. Congratulations. I hope you participate. I hope you don't use it. I hope you participate. And I hope you're a part of it. And that's a hope. It's not a demand. It's a hope. So, we're in a very strange time right now where it's like my father would say, people are grasping at straws. I think there is a deep worry. There's a deep concern about the Westwood economy. Believe me, that has not gone away. I've made this clear in all of my recordings. You're going to have, Pluto move back to Capricorn, where it's sat since 2008. Look what happened then. It is slowly moving out of Capricorn, and it is 0 degrees Aquarius until June 11th. this spring, and then it will go full force next year after January 20th in Aquarius for 19 more years. One of the things I've seen in most readings, which I find fascinating, is that there has been this, at least decade long. Let's hypothetically not go as far back as 2008, because 2008 to 2013 were quite interesting years. Think back. So 2013 till 2023, you've seen this massive, upswing in regards to values, whether they were artificial, whether they were just, people just decided I'm going to pay more. I've been to auctions, I've dealt in antiques, which aren't worth very much anymore, sadly. So, we went through this, and this again was a lot to do with Pluto and Capricorn. Capricorn, Saturn rules banking, financial expansion. Look at the Yanks and everybody did in the West. They kept printing money. We all did it. Britain did it, Canada did it, and America did it. So now we've got this Aquarian thing. So getting back to my initial focus here, people have gone from need. So in most readings, no matter what you perceive, there's a Kabbalah. You can read different things and take interpretation from different things. You have an element of an economy and finance, financial building, where Saturn is one of those shoulder pads. And now we've got this 10 of Cups, 10 of Hearts energy coming. Now this is a good thing. I think this is a very, very good thing. Because what it represents is that people are going to, as I said earlier in one of my forecasts, people are going to start to create compounds. And this is happening. I'm telling you, I don't make up this stuff. This is why I'm in business 33 going on 34 years and busy. Because I see it. I see statistic. I see the sway of public and what's happening. And also basically a big swing, by the way, from far left getting to the middle. So be careful, people, with being a little too controversially outspoken. But there's this movement back to moderation, and it'll probably become a little conservative, by the way, through the coming years. But I've seen people move toward this 10 of Cups, 10 of Hearts in regular cartonometry is what it's called with playing cards. And the thing that's fascinating is that has a lot to do with quality of, not quantity. We don't need 500. Listen, I was as bad. Listen, I had a historic home, and my ex and I, we had a great time. We had great parties. I bought a ton of antique holiday stuff. I bought, tons of blue and white transfer china, just going on. And I still am working on restoration of historic sofas, which is, I need that for my left brain part that is creative expressive. I'm sorry, everybody has their friggin' thing. I don't need designer clothing. I want that. So everybody has their story. I like restoration to be able to give back. I don't want to see these things put into a dump. And we're going to start to see quality. It's interesting. You look at fancy dancies. All my friends that were moneyed would have these parties, Rosedale, whatever, and I'd say to one in particular who I really care about, but happy birthday to her out there. She'll be watching this. Her birthday's Friday, by the way. They would end up in the kitchen. Now, my parents had this great house, and every holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever the heck it was, Easter, whatever, everybody ended up in my mother's kitchen. She used to go mental. She'd be, hey, wait a minute, we have a beautiful dining room set in a dining room, and we have this great living room with antique furniture. I'd say, Mom, people don't want to be there. They want to be where the action is, man. They want to be here. They want to be with my grandmother, who was this big Scotswoman, busty Bessie, cooking away in Aquarius, and was not the biggest conversationalist, I have to say. A lot of Aquarians talk, but she wouldn't. She was actually a little bit more restrained. She was like the cook on Downton Abbey a bit, that sort of a little bit bigger. But anyway, great lady. Taught me a lot. I mentioned her many times. But anyway, so people are going to be looking at quality. I love, therefore. I don't give a damn whether it's you love Milo Bogman or you want to have Georgian or you want to have nothing. You want to sit in a room with a statue. You want to sit in a room with a bed. It's quality. Quality isn't about stuff. Quality is that it touches you from a very dynamic energy. I'll have clients come into me, numerous. I've been very busy. I'm taking a little bit of time just to breathe. And they'll say, I did this and I own and I've got. And I said, yeah. And you're not dating anybody for quite a long time. So do you feel fulfilled? Oh, I don't need anybody. I said, of course. I don't know. I felt quite sad as a boy seeing my grandmother in the nursing home she was in, because she went in there, an affluent older woman who worked very hard on her life and sold her property and sold for quite a sum that her children enjoyed. But pretty lonely. My dad was in a nursing home. They were pretty lonely. And when they were 85, 89, So I say to clients, live the now, in the now, live in the now. I could write a song. I love writing songs. My friend Helen laughs her guts out. Most of them are dirty, but it's funny. And I don't need a drink. And yes, my sinuses are still bothering me, but that's going to be taken care of. Dr. Alviv is going to be seeing me, and I'm excited. I'm going to get this done. But anyway, you heard it here first. I've gone on quite a long recording today because it was necessary, because we're between eclipses. Be ready this weekend. Do a little mental house cleaning. Look at quality of life. Look at what you are fulfilled with and what you are not. Understand, why am I perpetuating this, and why am I continuing this state of unhappiness? We're all going through it on some level, one level or another. I wish you the best. You heard it here first. And spring is going to be here. You know Toronto. It'll hit like a ton of bricks, and Yonge Street and every street will be packed with cars, which used to be fun, especially when it was a convertible. Best of luck.